All right, everybody. Show's getting started. So, welcome to Comparative Reasoning Chat, shortened to CRChat, where pretty much we just go over Kialo topics and you can voice bomb me, be respectful though, and talk to me on Discord. You can say what you got to say in the chat window over there in Twitch chat. And, you know, these topics, I can't remember how many I got. I don't know. It was a short one today. Because I ain't ready to go to sleep. Probably shouldn't have ate that corn. It was damn good though. Juice squirting all over the place. All right. Oh, let me go ahead and scroll down, get these topics going. All right, so let's start with topic number one. Topic number one, who should provide health care, the government or the market? And honestly, the first ones that should provide health care should be the hospitals, medical centers, clinics. That should be the first ones to provide health care. Matter of fact, they should also be the only ones dealing in health care. The problem is everything's a damn for-profit business, a for-profit industry. That's why it's called the medical industry. You know, it's not about healing. It's about, and it's not necessarily preventative care. It's mainly about, you know, how much do you want to live? You know, and like I say, if you cure them, they don't come back. So don't worry about a cure. Just worry about managing your symptoms. We need a new system. We really do. We need to overhaul it, because you talk about protecting people. You talk about, you know, protecting Americans here in the United States of Northern America. Talk about that, but you know, how are you going to protect and make sure everyone is better and have a good quality of life if you just manage symptoms? But who is obligated to provide health care, the government or the market? So right now, we'll just say the government. Everyone should be taxed heavily. And man, okay, I can't do this. My nail got cracked. How did that happen? All right, I got to deal with this. This is This hurt. There we go. All right. Okay, so everyone should be taxed. Now, I've got more than this that I could say. I might just save that for upload on YouTube. But right now, keeping it shallow, you know, there should be a tax. And everyone pays in that tax. And then with that tax, the government subsidizes hospitals. So you just go in for free. That's it. No co-pays, no nothing. You know, doctors got to get their $50,000 to $150,000 a year. Some get millions. So, I mean, they'll get paid. They can live comfortably. But everyone is for profit. And then you got Big Pharma that's trying to do stuff. And you take Big Pharma out, then, you know, you ain't got to worry about it. And the ones that should be creating and pushing pills should be medical physicians, not pharmaceutical companies. You know, distributing them should be all left up to maybe hospitals and whatnot. You know, so Big Pharma is pretty much the pusher man, and you know, the healthcare system is the mafia middleman, and everyone else is just compliant with it. So right now, the government should handle it. That's how, you know, Medicare for all. That's what I'm for. That's what I voted for. And, you know, people are going to have issues with that, but they don't know what Medicare for all is. And they'll talk about it bankrupting the company. Right before I go, I just want to say this. You can't afford it. However, while every politician out there will say you can't afford Medicare for all, they're giving, literally they say it's 30, okay, Medicare for all, it used to be $14 trillion in 30 years. Then 15, this is narrated by the Republicans, then 16, then 25, 28. Now current, they say, is $30 trillion in 10 years. Okay. How you going to pay for it, right? Okay. I don't know. Find the same way that Donald Trump and his damn administration just gave $6 trillion inside of 3 months. All right. $6 trillion inside of 3 months. They gave a fifth of that of 10 years in 3 months. How did they pay for that bailout for Wall Street and all those fat cats and the big oil companies and these other industries? How they pay for it? I guarantee something called taxpayer money did it. But hey, you can be in denial about that if you want. Sucks for you. When you get woke up, you're gonna be like, oh crap. So here we go. Next one. Is Christianity compatible with feminism? Nope. I think we already went over this one before. I think it was in the first one, or maybe the second episode. But nope, because feminism is practically about just being a woman, feeling like a woman. Like, they'll tell dudes to get in touch with their feminine side. So I don't know if that's going on today's rhetoric and the way people are today. I don't know if that's good, because it seems more like a pejorative almost. I don't know. I might have to actually think about that. But, feminism is just, being female, being a woman, getting into, your feminine charm, your natural instincts and stuff like that. Not looking the part. You don't have to look like some kind of model feminine, female or anything to be feminine. You just, I guess it's just a status or something, but Christianity is not compatible with it, because Christianity don't teach it. Christianity teaches women to shut up and not be accountable. No one's going to listen to them. No one cares about them. Women are seen as items to be traded, enslaved, raped, murdered, and then at clutch moments used as a beacon of, please follow this person. So honestly, no, Christianity is not compatible with feminism. Can't be, never has been, and never will be. All right, let's get to the next one. Oh, and if you got issues, hey, on YouTube, put down your comments what you think. I might do a follow-up on YouTube, or I might do it here on Twitch and upload it later on YouTube. But, put your comments down. I like to see them. All right, third one. Matter of fact, hold up. Okay, I see 4. Did I get down to 5? So 4. We're only doing 4. All right, so 3. Who should have the final say about a child's medical treatment, doctors or parents? That's a tough one. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if I say parents, then it makes sense. They're in the care, the child's in the care of the parents. And any jackweed will say the parents know best for their child, but then you got anti-vaxxers out there. You've got kids that fell down, broke their arm, and it's like, the arm is bent really funny. It looked like she has 2 elbows. Should I take her to the emergency room? And stuff like that. And that's real. That was real. That was real. Some parents do know best for their child. They do know what's going on, and they rather have a second opinion instead of appealing to authority. So that's a toss-up. Judgment, a doctor would definitely have to, or whoever's in charge of this would definitely have to have a wherewithal of judging or assessing, which is pretty much the same word, parents. To assess something means to judge it. And when you judge somebody, you're assessing your thoughts about them. So they're interchangeable. Just highfalutin. Okay. Now, should be left in the doctor's hands. I mean, the doctors, legitimately, they are obligated to know what the child needs, but we've also known that doctors are highly opinionated, and they're trained to be highly opinionated, not necessarily logical. So there are doctors that have literally carved their name into patients' abdomens after C-sections, basically saying, I was here and I did this. You have doctors that during gynecological exams, they will sexually assault the female, but if she don't know what's going on and the doctor's doing certain things, she doesn't know about it, they get away with it. Say, well, there should be a nurse in there at all times. The truth is, people don't realize sometimes the nurse is in on it. So that's scary. That's scary. You got doctors that will look at you and judge the treatment they care to give you based on what they think about you. They don't like the way you look. They don't like the way you sound. That you just give them this. Maybe you've got resting bitch face and they just don't like it. They will give you some jacked up things, some jacked up advice. It's been done. It's being done today. It's so that's kind of like two bulls slamming into each other. Like, so who's obligated to have the final say about a child's medical treatment? Honestly, I'm going to have to leave it in the hands of the parents. Only because while the doctor, quote unquote, knows better in terms of health and healing, it's not, the child does not belong to the doctor. It's not the doctor's child. It's the parent's child. And because of that, the parents is going to have the final say. And whatever happens to that child, the doctor needs to, do some kind of follow-up somehow, if it seems shady, and vice versa. If the parents are doing something and the doctor's like, oh, just give them more. Just give them more. Doctors don't even do well with adults, so it's difficult. That's difficult. But ultimately, I would say the parents for now. If you differ, you got your own thoughts, you let me know. This should be the final one. I think the rest were just yesterday and the day before. That number 6 is the day before. And that one was earlier today. So yeah, number 4 is the final one. All right. Is morality objective? Nope. It's not. What's moral? Morality is the act of being moral. The carrying out of social ideologies and whatnot. So you could say saving a cat, saving a child, helping people across the street that need it, giving money that you don't think about to someone that desperately needs it, being a very helpful, kind, considerate, empathetic person. Those are moral things. You can say that, but that's the society people try to preach, but that's not the society that they're not trying to live in. At the same time, I'm gonna tell you what actually kind of made me feel this way. It was a cartoon. It was Adventure Time. Finn and Jake. They're heroes. They try to do the good things all the time, but then they went to this underworld area where everyone just lied. They were thieves. There, the moral thing to do was to cheat, to steal, to lie, to con, to fight. That was the way. And if you weren't living that way, then you were losing out. You were the fool. And that was their society. I'm not going to spoil the episode, although it's old, but that don't mean everybody's seen it and don't mean that you're going to watch it anyway. But yeah, so if this society most people would call Donald Trump moral, that his morality is very high. And at the same time, if you know what he's doing, where's my phone? If you know what he's doing, you know what he's done, you know the things that he said to people, Benjamin Dixon, then you wouldn't find him to be that moral compared to someone that you think should be doing right, empathy and being kind and whatnot. Some people would call Hitler amoral, but his army, his Aryan army, they got special treatment. They got treated well. They rose to ranks. They did all kinds of stuff. They had perks and benefits. They were happy. They would say that he was very moral and just and understanding. And you could be like, oh, Cedric, you're a piece of shit for saying that. But you know what? A third of this country probably sees, David Duke highly moral because, at first it was, hate all the blacks and hate all the Mexicans, hate anyone that's really a minority. And they was like, yeah, because if they didn't think it was moral, they wouldn't have followed him. If they didn't think it was moral, they would have turned him in to the cops or something. They would have found a way to get him off the street. They joined him. They got behind him. There are other KKK leaders. He's a former leader. You can be a former president, but if you still got some pull and you're using it, you're still the leader. So it's stuff like that I think about. I think about that. And morality is based upon the current living conditions and situations and surviving in that area. That's the morality. And is it objective? No. Because if it was, then that means people would really analyze what they're doing, how it fully affects any and everyone around them, including themselves, but themselves last. Everyone else first. What's positive? What's progressive in terms of moving forward? What's the most harmless that you can do? And I ain't talking about what's the harmless thing you can do in hurting somebody and they won't fight back. I mean, no, like literally cause zero harm, zero damage, and make sure that anything is positive for the person that is around you or somewhere else. Whatever's going to happen is going to be positive. And it's not about feelings. It's not being assertive, and it's not going with the flow of the crowd. It's not jumping off the bridge with the lemmings. It's literally doing what's right, what's positive. And nobody does that. So it can't be objective, because objective is just straight up logic. It's rational. And nobody seems to be rational enough to do the right thing, because somebody's always going to try to screw it up. So is morality objective? I'm going to have to weigh no. Now, that don't mean I'm some end all be all on something. People, that's another. Is it moral to sit there and just find someone that you can just nod your head to? They're going to say all the things that are the right things to say. Those are political channels. I don't care if they don't talk about politics at all, those are political channels. They're very social political. Say the right things, be happy, be kind, and say chipper, cheery, fine and dandy things and quips and quotes and phrases, and show cat pictures and doggy pictures and all. That's just blowing smoke up your ass. That's all that is. Is that moral? Because that's not how that person is. Because there are a lot of channels out there, and I guarantee you them people are not like that at home 24/7, especially when they're not being watched. And that is integrity. Integrity is what you do when nobody's watching you. Honor is what you do in the face of adversity. I'll keep that in mind. So no one showed up, but hopefully on YouTube somebody will see this. They'll listen to it. Yeah, that's pretty much how that is. So that'll be the show for the day. For anyone that watches this later on or whatnot, thank you for your time and whatnot. I really do appreciate it. You could be doing a lot of things, but you choose to watch me and converse with me and whatnot. So I definitely appreciate that. You don't even know. Seriously, you have no idea. I appreciate it a lot. I'm tired. I'm sleepy. I want to go to bed. There's a lot of light in here. And it's working on my eyes. It's just hard to keep my head up. So, yes. So, everyone, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. This is Sidra Kennedy for CRChat.